So I'm going to show you how to make asparagus and lemon soda bread scones with truffle oil. And again, this is just another interesting and quirky take on the wonderful recipe that is soda bread. What I've done for this is I've bought a 500-gram bunch of asparagus. I chopped off all of the tops, which you can see here, okay? And I blanched them separately. And then all of the stalks I cooked, and you can see them here. You can see them just in this little blender, okay? So chop them up, cook them until they're soft, drain them, let them cool. And what you do with the stalks of your bunch of asparagus is you simply blend them. So in they go into a blender. Shake it around a bit. Just give it a minute to all pulse together. And you will see you get this delicious green asparagus puree. Okay, so here I have some already made. So this comes, what you yield from your 500-gram bunch of asparagus is about 200 grams of puree. Okay, so that goes in there. We can set that aside just for the meantime. Here we have our soda bread mixture. So as always, 450 grams of flour, teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, okay? Mix that all together. And what you can do straight away is put your asparagus in there, because this will inevitably affect the amount of liquid we have to use, okay? So mix that in. Here I've got my soured milk. If you can't find buttermilk, use sour milk. And again, just take it easy when you're putting in the quantities, because the asparagus puree will have an effect on the amount of liquid that you actually need. And you can smell that beautiful asparagus flavour. And what was so nice about these is that it will go really green, so you can see it all coming together there now. And as always, what you just want is a sticky kind of dough. Okay? So you could see that we didn't really use a whole lot of milk, or sour milk, or buttermilk. And again, as always, what you're looking for is your sticky dough. And this is quite sticky, so don't be afraid to use a lot of flour when it comes to kneading it. And then before we knead it, you can do this before you knead it, or you can do it into the dry ingredients. Just grate on your lemon zest. And I'm going to do a whole lemon, because I really want to get that flavour in there, and I love the flavour of asparagus and lemon all together. Okay, so that's your dough. Put lots of flour on top, flour your hands, and don't worry if it gets a bit sticky. I always think that's the fun part. And knead it, it will come together very, very quickly. It'll become nice and soft and doughy, and that's it done. And then for scones, all you simply have to do, for this I'm just going to show you here, but all you need to do is pat it out like that, okay, until it's nice and flat. So imagine you're doing this just on a normal kitchen surface. And then recently what I've been using to cut out my scones is this little, it's a top of a jar of cinnamon, because I've lost my scone cutter. So I'm trying to be a bit versatile. So just by pressing that down, you will get this lovely little scone. Just like that. Don't worry if it's kind of covered in flour. That will all pat off as they dry. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this one on a plate, just here, and I'm going to show you what you then do with your asparagus. So just get your scone and get your asparagus and lay your asparagus on top of your scone, just like that. Okay, and for a very, very final touch, in here I have olive oil, which I've mixed with a teeny bit of truffle oil, which is quite strong. So I'm just going to drizzle that on top, and what that will do is it will stop the asparagus from blackening in the oven, and from going all charred and losing all of its flavour. So pop those into the oven, cut out all your scones, put your asparagus all over them, put them in the oven for about 10 minutes, and when you take them out they'll be really delicious. And then I would suggest dipping them into truffle oil when you're eating them as well. So there you go, enjoy!